This here is a WAGO lever nut, and this one is a regular twist-on, old school, favored by a lot of electricians in the US and all over the world. These have extremely crazy strength, and they really hold on to the wire very securely. And not only that, their thread is like all the way down there, so if you keep a little bit of extra length of wire, this will be insulated inside this cap and has less chance of getting exposed to the outside. So these are pretty safe, and they go a long way, and pretty much everybody loves these. I, however, stopped using this a long time ago when I actually came across WAGO, and I actually had issues with WAGOs myself, but I kind of worked around it to save myself with that. The reason why I don't like Wirenut is because of this reason. This is a new wire that I twisted once, and if you want to reuse wires over and over again, or over the year, a house can have a lot of issues, a lot of projects that needs to be redone. A lot of things can happen. For example, I'm working on drywall here, so if I need to cap these wires off, even though they're not live, but in case I want to turn them on or anything like that, if I want to cap these off, if I use a wire nut like this, it's gonna chew up the wire just like this. So what I would have to do is snip this off and then make the wire short and short every time. Or what I can do is, if I use this just like this, because these are chewed up, this will cause a hitting issue, and this overheating issues can cause a lot of things later down the road. So this is something that you don't want to have. You want to have a clean wire to work with every single time. So this is why I use WAGO lever nuts. Now let's talk about the issues that I'm actually facing with these WAGO lever nuts. So as you can see, I cut these a little bit bigger than these are supposed to be, because they're going to be outlets here, and these are actually cut for the outlets. So obviously I could have cut a little bit and then cut the rest later. I wasn't thinking about that, obviously. So this here is a WAGO lever nut, and the issue with this is if you keep long cuts like this, you're gonna have wire exposed. So if you obviously have a huge piece of exposed wire, you're gonna have issues with these types too, because there's only so much that'll hide. So cutting the proper length is very important. So make sure whenever you do whatever you do, you want to make sure that you're insulated all the way, and no bare wire you can see outside of this thing, or outside of the insulation here. Next thing is, let's say if I'm keeping this thing like this, right? And let's say I actually did cover all the way, and there's no exposed wire here, it's insulation all the way up to here. Now what can happen is another wire, like a ground wire or something like that, any wire that can touch this and create a short, or sometimes it can go in there and create a short if you're not careful enough. Because when we put things back, we don't really see what's going on. Sometimes we push things too far, it could be a mess, and a wire can touch each other or get into this thing. So to combat this is what I do. I tape them up just like that. So, that minimizes the chance of another wire poking through and touching one another. Another problem that you can face is these levers can turn up very easily. Like I would put wire in, and if I push in too hard or something like that, these would pop up a little bit, and then then you have a loose wire connection. That's not good at all. So to combat this, again, what I do is tape it up all the way. So you would see there's two types of wire nut here that I used, wire connection. So these are WAGOs. As you can see, this is a ground, these are all ground wires. So I just taped it around just like this, making sure that I cover all the levers so they don't accidentally come up with pushing and pulling or anything like that. And these are from Home Depot. Now these are kind of the same thing like the wire nut. They do get chewed up and stuff, but I have so much work to do here, so I just got these. These are pretty easy to put on too, but you know, you just gotta push in a little harder than the WAGOs. But yeah, I'm using these as well, and these are, you know, same issues that can occur. Like, you know, you can accidentally put a wire in there, and then, you know, you can have a short and issues later down the road. So what I like to do is, after putting these on, this is a junction box, so this is why these are all taped up. I would just, like, you know, tape these up and make sure they're just separate, so, you know, we're okay from any fire hazard down the road. I hope that helps you guys and makes you informed about this issue. And these WAGO nuts are pretty nice, you know. There's no like resistance at all, you know. You just put it in and then you lock it in place. Very secure. I love these things. They're very easy to use and very you know, user friendly. You can look at it and see exactly where you are, you know. It's clear and pretty nice to use. So I hope that answered or helped you guys make a decision on what you're gonna do with your project. And if you guys have any other issues that you're facing with WAGO lever nuts, let me know. Maybe I can also, I also need to think about those. I'm not a professional, you know, electrician. This is just me DIYing stuff, so obviously I don't know better than any electrician, but if I, you know, said anything wrong, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.